Hello automators! Today I wanted to showcase my main AHK file, which is an Autohotkey file that runs on boot, and I want to show you some of my favorite features I use for everyday use. Enjoy! One of my favorite features in Autohotkey is the ability to turn buttons off. And what I mean by buttons is it's like the NumLock key or the Caps Lock key. For the NumLock key, actually, I always turn it on because every time I go on the keyboard, I don't want to press NumLock to use the numbers. I only use it for numbers for the NumLock key if I use it. The ability to turn the Caps Lock off is like a Linux feature that I learned in i3, and there's a lot of macros you can do with the Caps Lock key as your macro key. So in this case, I actually rebinded my Caps Lock to be a macro key, and then when I press Caps Lock and I or J, K, and L, and if I just get a keyboard up to show you, here's the I, J, K, and L. And if I press Caps Lock and I, J, K, L, the arrow keys work. So here's me just pressing the I, J, K, and L, and everything still works. It's absolutely fantastic. Another use I really like about Autohotkey is the ability to send media keys. So if I'm listening to music on Spotify or YouTube, I've got the ability to play next, or when I press Caps Lock E, Caps Lock Q, or pause in Caps Lock W. So if you just get the keyboard up, so the W is pause. Oh, I see my face is covering. The W is pause, the E is the next song, and the Q is the previous song. So this works really well if I have, I don't know, YouTube music up. If I just get that up and make my face smaller, there you go. And then let's just say I'm listening to this anime music, which I'm gonna make sure the music is off. Sound this off, very good. I can pause it by pressing Caps Lock W, and it pauses. I can resume it again by pressing Caps Lock W again. I can say the next song and the previous song as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Another use for Autohotkey is to actually make it type stuff on the keyboard. Surprise, surprise. So in this case, I actually got a keybind for Caps Lock T to type "this is unsafe." And for developers out there, when your browser says, "Oh, this is unsafe," if you just type "this is unsafe," it actually unlocks you without doing any keyboard mouse clicks. So therefore, I just made it do Caps Lock T, which I'm going to showcase now, and it types "this is unsafe," which is awesome for me and useful for me if I'm in an unsafe browser. Another use I do have that with the same keybind is if I have a new GitHub repository like this one, I have to put in my information again. So here I just set my username to be Jintae Kim. I make it wait 50 seconds. I then make it type again my email address, and then I then make it go up 3 times, and then do git push, because originally for this command I'm trying to git push, and the reason it doesn't let me git push is because I haven't got my git config set up. So this happens not that often, but it does happen a lot if you're doing dev containers and stuff. So let me just show you the showcase here with Notepad. Here's Notepad, and then if I press Caps Lock Z, just types for me. Amazing stuff. And notice that it went up because if you do that in a terminal, it will bring my 2 previous commands, which I was originally trying to git push. Autohotkey has a always on top feature, which I really love. So what I normally use this for is that if I get a calculator up, and the calculator is useful, blah, 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 and I do 2 plus 2 because I have to work out something, or 2 plus 22, whatever. And I have to use this number for something, but then I have to go back to my browser and it goes away. And I'm like, oh crap, I have to Alt Tab and get it back up. And I just press Alt Tab and all that came up. But anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. So if you press, in this case, I've set it to Control and Space. What it does is, if I press that now, it always stays on top. And what I mean by this, if I now focus on the browser, it doesn't move. Even if I change browsers or whatever, it doesn't ever go away. And that's been very useful if I want to prioritize something like a sticky note to be on top, like a calculation. And I just want it to be always on. Just a reminder to always turn it off. So Control Space for you to then have normal Windows functionality again. This one I made a separate video about, but I think it's worth mentioning. So if you highlight anything, so I'm going to highlight allows, and if I press Caps Lock G, it does a Google search and it opens a different browser on a different screen. So there you go. If I then if I just make that focus so it stays up there, since we learned that, and then I make it search, I don't know, return, but I want to do that on Amazon with the Caps Lock A, then Amazon pops up. If I do another one like sleep, I don't know, and then put that on YouTube, Caps Lock Y, it pops up. And this is just me showing you how it sort of compounds everything else. That's again, I made another video about this, but no one seems to remember. So here is me showcasing again. This one's a bit weird. So I made it so that if you press caps lock, which is my macro key, and then backspace, it actually presses delete. And what I mean by this is, so most people use backspace for deleting stuff, but if I want to delete the other way, I press caps lock and backspace, and it deletes the other way. And that's just useful to always have a delete button so close, so I don't have to move my home row keys as much. The last one here is actually to make it transparent like this. Control Alt Control, and makes your browser transparent. And if you want to learn more about that, please feel free to watch my next video.